Have you ever imagined a dating app only for My Little Pony fans? Believe me, it existed and it went really wrong. What seemed cute and harmless ended up being a mass scam. Would you like to know how did they fool so many people using colorful ponies? So stay with me because this story will surprise you and alert you as well. Hey beautiful people, I'm Julie and today's video, as you guys saw on the intro, is about a really old controversy in the My Little Pony fandom, one that only a few people remember today. It's about a site called Brony Mate, a dating My Little Pony site that was actually a scam to fool innocent and unattended people. And I wanted to make this video because I see almost no one talking about this matter, and it might raise some alerts in people's mind. Mostly now that AI is trending so much. But let's jump right at the video because some people didn't even know this site existed. It all started back in 2012, right at the beginning of the G4. This was also the time when the internet was still figuring out how to handle so much people joining it. Social medias were booming, fandoms were starting to gain forces, and G4 had already become a phenomenon among teenagers, adults, and younglings all around the world. And it was in this context that Brony Mate emerged, a dating site turned exclusively to bronies and Pegasisters. And that means a site for any My Little Pony fan. But hold on, what do you mean by dating? Like Tinder? Yep, somewhere around that. The idea of the site was to connect and ship people who love G4, so they would meet, hang out, and who knows, even date. Got it? So much so that in the site itself is written ready to get shipped, and the name said it all, Brony Mate. That means, in theory, the site was a really good idea. You made a profile that says something about you, your favorite main six, and what you're looking for in someone. If you're in search of new friends, a new date, or just to hang out and marathon a series. And dude, I know that speaking like that, it sounds kinda creepy, a dating site focused on G4 fans, but keep that in mind that in that time, it was really common for dating sites revolved around a specific niche to appear. There were anime sites, Star Wars sites, heavy metal sites, so a place for My Little Pony fans only didn't seem so crazy. But then things started to get a little bit strange because Brony Mate shoved something right in our faces. To do almost anything in the site, you needed to pay for it. I'm not talking about buying cosmetics to customize your profile like Discord does. No, I'm talking about paying real cash to send messages and pictures. And the price wasn't cheap. You needed to make a monthly or yearly subscription, like the ones we have on Spotify and Netflix. But unlike the services, Brony Mate didn't deliver its content. They just let you talk. In other words, you pay just to be able to talk with someone. Pretty crazy, right? But there's that. Nothing is too bad that it can get worse, because that was exactly what happened. People started to realize that profiles that drawn the most attention, like the super cute ones with the best bios or a supposed girl that knew everything about My Little Pony, were kinda sus. The message in this profile seems to be automatic. They were really generic answers like, "Hi, I saw your profile and now I'm interested." Got it? But you could only answer these supposed people if you pay a heavy price subscription, which gave you access to the site for about 3 days. Now tell me, would you subscribe to Brony Mate for $2 just to see how it goes, or would you dodge that bullet? But if people seemed interested in you, what would you do? Tell me in the comments, because for what I've seen at the time, a lot of people paid for that subscription subscription, exactly because of that. But the bomb dropped when the users began to report these profiles that were actually bots, programmed to pretend to be real people just to make you pay for the subscription. Dude, it stinks so much that the bots hooked people by what they put in their profiles, like friendship or a relationship. They made you think that there was someone interested in you who had the same likes as yours, but it was just a poorly programmed AI. Remember Cleverbot, that old AI that used to laugh at its crazy answers or to finish someone's music lyrics? Yeah, probably Brony Mate used an archaic AI, just like Cleverbot. And by people's relate, we can notice that something was wrong because the chats didn't make any sense. Sometimes people responded with meaningless phrases or repeated exactly the same ones from minutes ago. True people didn't talk like that, right? That means the site was basically catfishing these bronies by their feelings. They messed with people's sentiments, with their true intent to meet people, and used that to shove a pricey subscription. And when users found out about that, it was too late. But luckily, somewhere between 2017, the channel Critical Thought published a video telling everything he experienced with Brony Mate. To summarize it, he created an account, paid the sub, and everything, but after some time, I think 3 days later, he was kicked out of the site. Yeah, all of a sudden. No warning, no explanation, nothing. But the funny part were the non-ending charges. Every month, his bank was charged by Brony Mate, even though he couldn't access the site anymore. Weird, right? If he theoretically lost access to the site, why the hell is he being charged? But then, to escape this madness, this Critical Thoughts guy had opened a second bank account just so he could get out of the scam. And he wasn't the only one. A lot of people had the same experience. They lost all access to the site but kept being charged for it. This isn't just dishonest, it's a crime. And if you managed to come so far in this video, it means you really like this internet crazy cases and really wants to dive into this other side of the fandom. But if you'd like to see more of these contents, subscribe to the channel and leave a like and share the video with a friend that loves ponies and could, have been one of Brony Mate's victims. And the worst of all is to think of how many people went through that, for how many years, how many adults and teenagers, maybe insecure ones, who saw in G4 fandom a safe place to be who they really are, ended up being scammed by a site that used their passion as a bait to take their money. Man, I'm so pissed right now. These people weren't even asking for much. They wanted to meet new people with similar tastes, chat around about a cartoon that brings them joy, and instead they receive code answers from bots, programmed to chat around just enough for the payment to be approved. And what do we learn about this? Never underestimate the power of the internet, that it has to turn something you love against you. Scammers like to exploit fandoms, communities, and hobbies because they know that people who are part of these groups generally have an open heart for everything and are really excited about it. It's easy to fall into traps that seems to be made just for you, like those fake Temu links that advertise cute main 6 plushies, but then the product arrives, the plushies seems to have been run over the delivery truck. Nowadays, with everything we know about online safety, virtual scams, and digital manipulation, it seems obvious that this site was a scam. But at the time, it wasn't so clear. The internet was peaceful, in a way. And even to this day, with all the information at our disposal, people still fell into the scams. Either because they feel lonely or want to connect with someone or just to be listened to. That's a human thing, and sadly, as everyone here should know, that's exploitable. In the end, Brony Mate was only another scam out of millions around the internet involving innocent fans. And it's horrible to think that those websites could have been a meeting point for such a huge community like My Little Pony. And if you're interested in seeing more bizarre stuff involving My Little Pony fandom, check out this next video that's appearing for you guys right now. You hear about the worst cases involving the worst My Little Pony G4 fans. But don't hate me afterwards. Hasta la vista!